Alright, so I wanted to do a review of this. I was kind of banting back and forth if I wanted to do a review of this, but I was like, no, I found issue 1, so I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a review of it. At least of issue 1. I don't think I'll make it a recurring thing. This is going to be my review of Punisher #1. Yes, this is the start of the Joe Garrison era of Punisher. This was written by David Propose. Hope I'm saying that name right. Dave Watcher and Dan Brown. You have DDD. You have Dave Dan. I hope that was on purpose. Anyway, so yes, for those who are unaware, this is the new Punisher because after the event, Jason Aaron's 12-issue Punisher Maxi series, Frank Castle's on Weird World reinventing himself after becoming the Fist of the Beast for the Hand, and people were getting mad at it. But if you actually read the book, it's still the Punisher. Like, it's still the Frank Castle you know. And trust me, this isn't the weirdest shit I've seen Frank Castle do. Need I bring up, Hunting Demons and Marvel Knights, or, Frankencastle? So this is not even, top 10 weirdest shit Frank has done. Now, let's talk about this character, Joe Garrison. So the story begins in what else of making who the Punisher is. This character, Joe Garrison, is an ex-SHIELD Wetworks agent. If you guys remember, in the current Marvel Universe, after, I believe, the events of Secret Empire, SHIELD was dismantled for good. Never for good, but, SHIELD's gone after the events of Secret Empire. But Joe Garrison was a SHIELD Wetworks guy. He had taken on... when I say, Wetworks, I mean he is a Wetworks guy. He has basically taken down Latverian splinter cells. He's taken down other black counterterrorism groups. The guy's a trained stone cold killer, and his family got killed in an explosion that framed him for the murder. So now Garrison is hunting down the person connected to that murder called the Sokovian, who is an arms dealer. So that's what the first issue is. Yes, Joe Garrison lost his family. They're all dead in an explosion. He's framed for it. It actually reminds me a lot of what was that movie with Mark Wahlberg where he plays? It wasn't Sniper. It wasn't The Fugitive either. And Mark Wahlberg plays a lot of these characters, so you'll have to forgive me. But Mark Wahlberg played a Black Ops guy, and Danny Glover was the villain at the end that he blew away at the end of the movie. I can't remember, but it reminded me a lot of that. This comic reminded me a lot of that. So Joe Garrison, of course, his costume. He doesn't even call himself the Punisher. People are like, oh, he was wearing a skull outfit, and is Frank Castle come back? Because everyone thinks Frank Castle's dead. He's just on Weird World. No one knows that, not even the Avengers. So if people are like, did the Punisher get resurrected again? And I say again because yes, he did come back after Frankencastle. So people are like, oh my god, is the Punisher back, or is someone else taking on that moniker? And Garrison's like, okay, I get that's a good cover. That's a good cover story. That's a good cover. People won't come. People will be afraid of me now. He doesn't I'm the Punisher now. He's like, no, I'm gonna take the mantle of the Punisher, not willingly, but it's more I'm gonna use it for cover. He's very stoic. He's very cold. There is a lot of cool. There's actually well done fight scenes in here. David Propose knows how to animate through fight sequences, and Dave Watcher knows how to do some dark, gritty artwork. That's also it's gritty, but it's clean, if that makes any sense. Yeah, let me just give you a show real fast. It's this darkness here. I do like the costume, even though he does say it's a SHIELD Black Ops uniform. I'm like, come on, dude, you had to have known that was the Punisher uniform. You had to have known. There's also, he does battle Mr. Hyde, who we haven't seen in a long time, and I like Calvin Zabo, Mr. Hyde. It's a cool fight. It does show that this Punisher is going to be taking on others, because in issue 2 we do see him, and he's going to take on Bushwhacker. And it's, again, like, I know people are going to complain, oh, they had to make the Punisher cool by taking out a villain. I'm like, 1, it's Mr. fucking Hyde. No one's going to cry over that. 2, it's not like he's going to be dead forever. Now, one negative I will say, like, there's a few, well, actually, let me go into another cool thing. He does have his own microchip. Her name is AAA. She's his man in the, she's the man in the chair, or woman in the chair, I guess, for this. And she was his handler during his Black Ops, his S.H.I.E.L.D. Black Ops days. So that's really cool. So I do like there's a connection there. It's nice to have a microchip character. We haven't had a microchip character because they did kill him off, and then they tried using other characters to replace him, and it just never worked. So it's kind of, so this character's kind of cool so far. Now for some negatives. This character does not feel, right now, any different from Frank Castle. I mean, for the Punisher, I'm not asking the Punisher to be, making Spider-Man quips or something, but there's really nothing to differentiate his personality from Frank. He's a Black Ops guy. He's not like Frank, who is like a soldier. He's like Wet Works. And he has access to, S.H.I.E.L.D. tech, and he does utilize that. And don't say, oh, Frank never did that. Frank totally Hell, there's a whole time during Civil War he was using, PIM particles and goblin gliders and, a fake Captain America shield. He was using all of that. There was an era where Punisher was straight up, not even joking, straight up copying other people's weapons. He was Taskmaster. So don't, and yes, he did use S.H.I.E.L.D. weapons, not just in that era, but other times before. So don't fucking come in here and tell me, oh, Frank never used S.H.I.E.L.D. weapons before. He did. Yeah, he did. Multiple times. So, I don't mind that. I'm just saying, personally, there's no personality, and family dying, but I do like that it's more of a fugitive story than it is it's a revenge story and mixed with the fugitive. I do like that. My thing is, his personality is there's nothing to differentiate him from Frank so far. It just feels like Frank 2.0. So I am hoping we get more more about his backstory, his life, and I'm not talking just his family. I'm not talking just his family. I'm talking I want to see. I really want to see him during his S.H.I.E.L.D. day, his S.H.I.E.L.D. days. I would love to see his missions during with S.H.I.E.L.D., how he was then compared to now. I want to see that because it does sound like how he talks about it in one moment. It does sound like he was a better person. It wasn't like with Frank where it was all I needed was the war. It's here. It's I found peace finally. That's the one thing that does make Joe more interesting. Is that it does sound like he finally found his peace, and then it got ripped away from him. And we don't know what the full story is, but we do know that the Sokovian was a part of it. And yeah, I'm not going to be picking this up in single issues. I'm more of a trade person, as you know, so I will be picking this up in trade, the whole thing in trade, and then give my full thoughts on Volume 1. So far, so good. I don't, I know people are going to be up in arms and, crybaby pee pants about, oh, it's not Frank Castle, they had to get rid of... Look, guys, Punisher got tainted by some really awful people out there. I don't know what else to tell you. And it's not like Frank's going to be gone forever. That's another thing about comic books. He's gonna come back. That's at 2 years tops. They'll have welcome back Frank again or some shit like that. But yeah. Right now, he's a decent character. I just hope they give him more of a personality that's different from what we have so far with what we have so far, because it just feels right now it's Frank 2.0. So hopefully, Dave proposed, gives us some more what the personality is and what differentiates him from Frank, other than I'm ex-S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. It's going to be cool to see, how he... I'm interested to see how he'll interact with other Marvel characters. That's my thing. I'm very curious to see, because, yeah, he's going to start... He doesn't call himself the Punisher, the media is, and I'm kind of wondering, how the other characters that knew Frank Castle are going to interact with him, like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Captain America, Wolverine. Are they going to come after him at like thinking that he is the new he's taking Punisher's name or something? Because right now he's just like, it's just cover for me. So maybe by the end of the story arc, he'll be like, yeah, I am the Punisher or something like that. All in all, not bad. I don't know what anyone was expecting. It's a new Punisher. It's just a new Punisher, Joe Garrison. So far, so good. Who knows? Maybe it'll shit so bad and they'll bring Frank back. They're gonna bring Frank back, guys. Don't fucking cry about it. They're gonna bring Frank back. So for right now, we got Joe. Anyway, so if you read Punisher #1, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.